There are countries that you visit, and then there are places that seem to visit you. Austria arrives not like a destination, but like a memory you've never had, a place you somehow already long for, even before the first footstep lands on its soil. Here, the wind is threaded with old songs, and the earth wears the season's mood like silk. Lush green in the valleys, stone gray in the spires, powder white on distant peaks where silence sleeps. A land stitched from storybooks and soul work, where monasteries overlook misted vineyards. And a single alpine lake can hold 1,000 still reflections of who you are. Welcome to Austria, where the line between dream and geography softly blurs. And you begin to feel, more than see, the beauty around you. It is a country of orchestras and glaciers, of candlelight and cliff edge roads, where past and present pass each other like strangers on a quiet funicular. A nod, a moment, and then gone. This is a place built not only with bricks and stones, but with time, patience, and reverence. Every cobbled alley and icy gorge speaks in hushed tones, as if they know the weight of centuries, and respect your silence just as much as your wonder. If you come here, come gently. Austria does not shout for your attention. She sings, and to hear her clearly, you must slow down. Respect lives quietly in this country, in the way strangers greet you with a nod, in how the train always arrives when it says it will, in the soft hush of churches where even your breath feels too loud. Dress for the weather, but also the mood. Modesty is not demanded, but it's the rhythm of the place. You'll feel it in the museums and the cafes, in the way a local straightens their coat. Try the Apfelstrudel, warm, flaked, laced with cinnamon memory. Sip coffee slowly, always slowly. And don't be surprised if a mountain view makes you cry a little. That's just Austria reaching into your chest and pressing softly on your heart. German is spoken, with dialects that ripple like rivers, but kindness is a universal language here. A smile, a gesture, they travel far, even through snow. Most places are reachable by train or by time, and sometimes time is the better journey. Summer smells like forest rain and meadow bloom. Winter hushes the world in a blanket of white awe. And spring is just Austria remembering how to sing again. As your journey begins, remember this. Austria is not a country to be rushed through. It is a place to be received. You do not conquer her peaks. You earn them. One breath, one pause, one still, snowy morning at a time. And if you listen, really listen, you may find that Austria isn't just a stop on your map, but a place your spirit had been waiting to return to all along. There are places where water falls, and there are places where it descends, with purpose, with power, as if the sky itself is weeping into the earth. Krimml is not just a waterfall. It's a slow, thunderous breath, the Alps exhaling after a long, glacial dream. From the first sight, the air itself feels different, charged, mist-laced, humming with ancient rhythm. The falls tumble down in 3 proud tiers, each one a cathedral of motion and roar. Stand close enough, and the spray finds you. It kisses your skin like a blessing. Cold, pure, unapologetically alive. Around you, pine forests lean in as if drawn to the water's sermon. Moss clings to rock like old stories, And above it all, mountain peaks bear silent witness, snow-dusted in knowing. If you come here, bring time. The hike beside the falls is not just a trail. It's a transformation. Step by step, you ascend beside the cascade, each turn offering a new vantage, a new sound, a new way of seeing. You'll hear languages from across the world, but the real conversation is between gravity and grace. Wear sturdy shoes. The path is well kept but steep. Bring water, though you'll be surrounded by it. And pause often, not from fatigue, but from the simple need to stand still, in front of something so utterly sure of itself. Krimml teaches you something, not with words, but with force and flow, that falling doesn't always mean breaking. Sometimes it's just how the wild heart moves forward. At the top, when breath and sky are one, look back down the valley. The sound is still with you, a low, eternal drumbeat in your bones. And as you begin the descent, you realize you didn't just witness the waterfall. You were part of its rhythm, if only for a moment. It rises from the hill like a story half told. Stone walls weathered by wind and whispers. Towers watching the world with quiet, medieval pride. Kreuzenstein Castle does not pretend. It remembers. Every archway and iron gate, every timbered ceiling and drawbridge plank feels like a doorway into another time. Not a replica, but a resurrection. You walk its grounds, and the air shifts. A falcon cries overhead, and for a flicker of a moment, you're not sure what century you're in. If you come here, don't rush the rooms. Let the wood and stone speak. Let the silence and the armory hum. This place is not only about what stood, but what still stands, in spirit, in shadow, in echo. And as you leave, don't look back right away. Wait until the path curves, and then turn. See it from a distance. That's when it becomes a memory you know you'll carry. Grossglockner is not a mountain. It's a monument to stillness, to scale, to sky. Austria's highest peak doesn't boast. It stands, vast, inevitable, a white-edged crown above a kingdom of silence. The drive toward it, the high alpine road, feels like a pilgrimage. Hairpin turns winding through heaven's doorstep, each bend revealing a panorama too grand for language. And then there it is, the mountain, not a postcard, not a dream, but real, towering, indifferent to your awe. If you come here, bring layers. Weather shifts like a mood, sun, snow, wind, all within a single hour. There are viewing platforms, but it's best to walk a little. Even 10 steps off the road can feel like crossing into another world. Watch the marmots dart between stones. Smell the cold. Taste the thinness of the air on your tongue. And know this, you don't conquer Grossglockner. You visit, you listen, you learn, then you leave, smaller, perhaps, but somehow more whole. at the edge of the mountains, where the road finally exhales. A stillness spreads out like a mirror. Margaritze Reservoir is quiet, not because there is nothing to say, but because it chooses its words carefully. The water lies calm beneath the crags, a turquoise sheet stretched tight by time and snowmelt. Above, glaciers lean over the rim of the sky, as if peering into their own reflection. This is not a lake born of nature alone. It is shaped by both hand and history. A dam holds it, but the soul of the place still feels wild. Walk along the ridge. The wind will try to tell you stories about power and pressure, about ice and time and purpose. Let it, if you come here. Step slowly. The ground is firm, but the air is light, thinned by altitude and awe. Bring a jacket. Even in summer, the breeze carries whispers from the snowfields. And if you hear the faint hum of turbines deep below, remember, this water turns lights on in distant towns. Stillness can hold energy, too. You may see ibex moving across the ridges, balanced and effortless. You may not. Sometimes nature chooses secrecy. No cafes, no crowds, just the hum of wind and the rhythm of your breath. And if clouds roll in, let them. This place wears gray like a second language. It suits the gravity of the view. As you leave, don't speak for a while. Let the silence walk with you. Let it settle into your coat. Let it teach you that beauty doesn't always need a chorus. Sometimes it only needs to be, and Margaret's, she is very good at being. Tucked beneath the shadow of Grossglockner, Heiligenblut feels less like a village and more like a whispered prayer. Its name means holy blood, and something sacred does seem to hang in the air here, thin and cold and filled with light. The church stands tall at the center, a steeple piercing the mist like a compass needle. Its pointed spire has watched over centuries of snow, storm, silence, and song. Around it, chalets rest like folded hands, and the mountains gather close, not towering but sheltering. If you come here, walk slowly through the graveyard. The wrought iron crosses lean gently in the wind, each one a poem written in rust and memory. Say hello to strangers. They will nod back. It's the kind of place where every face seems known, even if you've never met. Come in spring, when the snow recedes and green begins again, or in winter, when stillness feels holy. And as you leave, look once more at the steeple. It doesn't need to speak. It's already said everything. Pasterze is a glacier that remembers. It remembers the cold before time had names. It remembers the weight of silence, before the first boot ever touched snow. From the viewing deck, it stretches out below you, long, wide, wounded, a river of ancient ice, pulling slowly through a valley that once knew nothing but white. But it's shrinking, and it shows. Markers line the path, each one a quiet eulogy to where the ice once reached. And as you walk down toward it, you're not just ascending, you're traveling through decades of retreat. Still, it remains beautiful, harsh, pale, unflinching. You hear the glacier before you reach it, a low creak, a crack like distant thunder, the occasional sigh of melting. If you come here, prepare for change. The path is long, steep on the return, and the air thins the further you go. Wear good shoes, bring water, and carry a kind of reverence. You are stepping into the remnants of something vast. Touch the ice if you can. Feel its age. It has waited lifetimes to meet your hand. And when you turn back, look up at the high snow line. Imagine what once was, and what may still be lost. Pasterze does not ask for pity, only presence. It reminds you that even the strongest things we know, even glaciers, can vanish in quiet, inch by inch. But for now, it endures, and in that endurance, there is something achingly beautiful. High above the Salzach Valley, like a sentinel frozen in time, Burg Hohenwerfen crowns its rocky perch with the elegance of defiance. Its walls rise straight from stone, not built on the mountain, but born of it, a fortress first, a legend second. The path up is steep. Each turn reminds you this place was meant to be unreachable, a bastion against whatever the world sent forth. But when you arrive, the wind greets you, not harsh, but curious. The views are wide, unapologetic. Forests spread below like green oceans, and the Alps rise beyond, layered in blue and white. If you come here, don't just tour the halls. Sit quietly in the inner courtyard. Watch the falcons circle overhead. A tradition of falconry still lives here, and their silhouettes dance across centuries. The stones remember sieges, songs, and solitude. But today, they simply hold sunlight. It's strange how something built for war can now feel so peaceful. And as you descend, glance back at the fortress one last time. It stands there still, needing nothing from you, yet giving you a glimpse of strength shaped by stillness. Above the rooftops of Salzburg, where the sky begins to breathe more freely, Fortress Hohensalzburg holds its place, unyielding, immense, like a thought too ancient to forget. It is not a ruin, but a survivor. White walls stretch across the hilltop, a crown of stone watching over the city like memory itself. From below, it is a symbol. From within, a maze of courtyards, towers, and time. Inside, you'll find echoes, monks' footsteps, soldiers' murmurs, the hush of snow falling in long-ago winters. And through the arched windows, Salzburg lies beneath you, a soft swirl of domes, spires, and pastel facades, the river slicing through like a silver thread. If you come here, ride the funicular, or take the winding walk. Both offer their own kind of arrival. In summer, the fortress glows golden at dusk. In winter, it feels carved from frost. Inside, visit the prince's chambers. The carvings are intricate, the ceilings high, but it's the silence between rooms that speaks the most. Step onto the bastions. Let the wind push against your coat. It has traveled far to meet you. Listen for the great Salzburg bull, an organ whose pipes once called the town to order. Its sound no longer echoes daily, but its presence hums through the stones. If you buy nothing else, buy a moment of stillness here. And when you descend, watch the fortress grow smaller, not less powerful, just more distant. It doesn't ask you to understand it. It only asks you to see it as it is, watchful, enduring, and quietly full of its own unshakable truth. There are lakes that reflect the sky, and then there's Grüner See, which seems to be the sky, poured gently into a forest clearing. For most of the year, it's a quiet alpine meadow, but when the snow melts in spring, the water comes, clear, cold, impossibly green. It floods the grass, drowns the footpaths, lifts park benches until they hover in a dream. Beneath the surface, the world remains, trees standing in silence, stones resting in liquid light. There is something unspoken here, a stillness that feels alive. If you come here, come when the water has just arrived, May or early June, when the lake is full and the sun still soft. You can't swim, not anymore. The rules change to protect the fragile beauty. But you can walk, sit, breathe, bring no music. Let the birds and breeze compose your silence. Grüner See teaches impermanence. In the gentlest way possible, what was meadow becomes memory, and then becomes meadow again. No drama, just rhythm. And as you leave, don't try to hold it. It was never meant to be kept, only witnessed, and maybe if you're quiet enough, felt. High on a hill above the Danube, Göttweig Abbey rises like a hymn made of stone. Pale pink walls glow in morning light, and from a distance, it almost looks like it's floating, anchored not to earth, but to something more eternal. Founded in the 11th century, this Benedictine monastery has known empires, fires, silence, and rebirth, but today it feels timeless. The kind of place that hums beneath the noise of the world, inside the ceiling soar, and above the imperial stairway. A fresco explodes into heaven. Angels swirl in pastel clouds. A vision of divine joy painted across the roof, like a window no one can open, but everyone can feel. If you come here, dress modestly, move gently. The monks still live, pray, and tend these halls. You may hear chanting through thick stone walls, or just the creak of old wood, and the distant hum of bees in the orchards beyond. Walk the gardens. They bloom in silence. Rows of vines and blossoms cradled by soft air. There's a small cafe here where you can sip apricot juice, pressed from local trees. Sweet, golden, and simple, a kind of communion in a glass. If you visit in spring, watch the valley come to life below. If in winter, see the snow settle like parchment on the rooftops. And when you stand at the edge, looking out over the Wachau, you may feel it too, the sense that time here isn't passing, it's just pausing, long enough for you to breathe with it. Gmunden rests on the edge of Traunsee Lake, a town wrapped in pastel-colored rooftops and the quiet pulse of water. The air here tastes with smoke and fresh rain, carrying the scent of pine from surrounding forests. Gulls wheel overhead, their cries punctuating the slow rhythm of lakeside life. The town's heart beats in the marketplace, where time seems to have paused, folding centuries into each cobblestone. Ceramic tiles, glazed in deep greens and blues, adorn buildings like whispers from the past, reflecting the region's rich tradition of craftsmanship. If you come here, stroll the lakeshore promenade with open eyes. Notice the fishermen's boats, bobbing gently, waiting for the day's catch. Stop at a cafe, Order freshly baked Apfelstrudel and a cup of coffee, and watch the light dance on the water surface. Wear comfortable shoes. The town's gentle hills invite wandering, each turn revealing new corners of charm. Listen for the church bells ringing softly, calling locals to pause and reflect. In summer, the lake invites swimmers and boaters. Its waters cool and clear enough to soothe tired limbs. Come in autumn, when the hillsides blaze with fiery leaves, and the air holds a promise of quiet evenings by the fire. And as you leave, let the gentle lapping of Traunsee linger in your ears, a reminder that sometimes the simplest moments carry the deepest peace. Schloss Ort sits quietly on a small island, a jewel in the midst of Traunsee's shimmering waters. Its walls have watched over centuries of shifting light, from dawn's gentle blush to the silver hush of twilight. The castle silhouette is soft, almost delicate, a contrast to the sturdy stone that holds it together. A wooden bridge connects this floating dream to the shores, inviting you to step into history's embrace. Inside, rooms echo with whispers, footsteps long gone, laughter caught in old beams, the soft scratch of quills on parchment. If you come here, pause by the lakeside, where the water laps against ancient foundations, a gentle reminder that time flows differently here, where layers, the air can be cool even in summer, and the breeze off the lake carries whispers of faraway places. Listen for the song of the water birds, their calls threading through the trees. The castle hosts concerts in summer, strings and voices rising to meet the mountains, an ephemeral harmony held between stone and sky. Stroll the garden surrounding Schloss Ort, where wildflowers bloom in quiet bursts of color. If you visit in the golden hour, the castle glows like a lantern, its reflection dancing in the lake's glassy surface. And as you step back across the bridge, leave with the sense that you've touched something fragile and eternal, a moment folded gently into the endless flow of water and light. Nestled along the edge of Traunsee, Traunkirchen is a village wrapped in quiet reverence, where mountains lean in close, and the lake's mirror reflects both sky and soul. The church's steeple pierces the air, standing tall like a beacon for dreamers and wanderers alike. Walk through cobbled streets, and you'll feel the heartbeat of centuries beneath your feet, soft and steady. Here, the pace slows. The air smells of damp earth, fresh pine, and wood smoke. If you come here, take the ferry across the lake, letting the water cradle your journey. Wear comfortable shoes for gentle hikes nearby. The hills invite wandering, offering views that settle deep into memory. Try the local fish caught fresh from the lake, simple dishes that taste of water and sky. Speak a few words of German. Guten Tag, Danke, a smile, small gestures that open doors here. Respect the silence that sometimes falls like a blessing, especially near the lakeshore at dawn. In winter, snow blankets the village, softening edges and deepening the stillness. And when the sun sets, watch as the mountains turn to shadow, and the lake takes on the color of fading dreams. Leaving Traunkirchen, you carry with you a quiet peace, a reminder that some places speak softly, but their voices linger long after you've gone. High in the Hohe-Torn Mountains, Weißsee Glacier Lake holds its secrets beneath a veil of ice and shadow. The water is cold enough to steal your breath, clear enough to see the stones resting at the bottom. Ancient and untouched, the glacier feeds the lake, a slow, relentless pulse of time melting into now. Mist drifts low in the mornings, softening the rugged peaks that cradle this hidden gem. If you come here, dress warmly and prepare for quiet solitude. This isn't a place for crowds, but for those who listen. Walk along the rocky shores, where each step echoes with the weight of glaciers long gone. The air is thin and crisp, each breath a reminder of the wildness here. Respect the fragile balance. Stay on marked paths. Leave no trace. In summer, alpine flowers bloom fiercely, dots of color against stone and ice. In winter, the lake sleeps beneath thick snow, waiting patiently for spring's gentle return. If you seek a place where time seems to slow, where the earth's heartbeat is steady and sure, Weißsee welcomes you in silence. And as you turn away, carry with you the quiet strength of ice and water, reminders that even the slowest forces shape the world. The Gollinger Wasserfall cascades with a fierce grace, a ribbon of silver slicing through dark rock, falling endlessly into forest's cool embrace. The roar of the water is alive, a wild song that fills the air, vibrating in your chest, reminding you of nature's raw power and gentle rhythm. Moss carpets the stones nearby, soft and green, inviting your hand to linger for a moment. Mist from the falls kisses your skin, cool and fresh like a whispered secret. If you come here, wear sturdy shoes. The paths can be slippery with their own stories of rain and time. Take your time. There's no rush to stand before the cascade. Breathe deeply and listen. The forest holds its own quiet magic. Bird song weaving through the steady rush of water. Leaves rustling like a soft conversation. Respect the space. Leave no trace of your passing. So the waterfall song remains unchanged for those who follow. In summer, the falls sparkle in sunlight, a prism caught in motion. In colder months, parts freeze into crystal sculptures, still and mesmerizing. And as you leave, carry the sound with you, the memory of falling water, constant and true, a pulse beneath the earth's calm face. Traunsee Lake stretches wide beneath the watchful gaze of towering mountains, its waters shifting between deepest blue and shimmering silver, like a living canvas painted by the sky. The breeze here carries whispers of pine and earth, and the gentle lap of waves against shore feels like a steady heartbeat. Fishermen cast their lines early, their boats gliding silently, while the village hums to life along the shoreline. If you come here, take a slow boat, ride across the lake. Let the water carry you into a quiet meditation. Bring a light jacket. The wind can stir unexpectedly, cooling skin warmed by the sun. Pause in one of the small towns, hugging the lake, where timber-frame houses and flower boxes bloom in a symphony of color. Taste local trout, fresh and tender, served simply to honor the water that gave it life. Speak softly. Respect the gentle rhythms of village life. A nod, a smile, a quiet "Danke" goes a long way. In autumn, the hills blaze with fiery hues, their reflection doubling in the lake's glassy surface. And as dusk settles, the lake becomes a mirror to the stars, holding their light just long enough for you to wonder if the sky and earth have ever truly parted. Leaving Traunsee, you carry with you a sense of calm, the gentle pulse of water and wind, a quiet story told in ripples and light. Perched high above the Danube, Melk Abbey commands the landscape, a fortress of faith and artistry carved from golden stone. Its grand facade glows softly in morning light, inviting the visitor into a world where time folds between prayer and possibility. Inside, frescoes sweep across ceilings like storms caught in paint, each brushstroke alive with stories of devotion and hope. The library is a sanctuary of silence, rows of ancient manuscripts resting beneath vaulted arches, whispers of knowledge carried through centuries. If you come here, walk slowly, letting the history seep into your bones. Dress with respect, for this is still a place of worship. Listen for the faint echo of chants, soft voices lifted in reverence, threading through marble halls. Outside, the terrace gardens bloom in ordered beauty, offering views that stretch over the river's shimmering ribbon. Sip coffee in the monastery cafe, where the aroma blends with the scent of old paper and blooming roses. Visit in spring, when the gardens awaken, or in autumn, when the light turns the abbey stones to amber fire. And as you stand at the edge, watching the Danube wind below, feel the quiet strength of a place built on faith, art, and the endless flow of time. Melk Abbey is more than stone and frescoes. It is a reminder that beauty endures, carried in the breath between moments and in the prayers of countless souls. Gosau Valley unfolds like a quiet secret nestled beneath towering peaks. Mist lingers in the morning air, softening the edges of fir trees that stand like sentinels. The valley breathes in hues of emerald and stone, its rivers singing ancient lullabies as they wind through mossy banks. If you come here, step lightly on paths lined with wildflowers, their colors vivid against the green. Breathe deeply. The air tastes of pine and fresh earth, where layers, mountain weather shifts like a whispered story. In winter, snow blankets the valley in silence, a hush that feels sacred. Respect the quiet. This is a place for reflection, for slowing down. Local farms, the landscape, their wooden fences weathered and warm. Taste the rich mountain cheese and let the simple flavors root you here. As daylight fades, the valley glows with soft amber light, the mountains holding shadows close. And when you leave, carry the stillness of Gosau with you, a gentle pause in a world that often rushes too fast. Hallstatt Salzkammergut feels like a dream folded into the mountains, a village where time drifts slowly over slate rooftops, and the salt mines whisper stories beneath the earth. The lake mirrors the jagged peaks, its surface still and glassy, holding secrets from ages past. Mist often rolls in, softening the sharp edges of the town, blurring the line between sky and water. If you come here, wander the narrow streets with quiet curiosity. Respect the town's pace. This is a place where every corner holds a memory, where layers, the mountain air shifts gently, sometimes cool, sometimes kissed by the sun. Taste the hearty local dishes, dark bread, smoked fish, and the sweetness of freshly baked pastries. Speak softly, for Hallstatt's magic is woven in silence as much as in sound. Visit the salt mines with reverence, aware of the lives carved out in tunnels beneath the surface. And as the sun sets, watch the mountains blush in fading light, and know that you are passing through a place where earth and history embrace in quiet harmony. Hallstatt Lake stretches beneath towering cliffs, its surface a mirror reflecting both sky and mountain, calm and deep like a hidden well of stories. Early mornings bring a soft mist, a gentle veil that blurs the edges of reality and dream. The water laps quietly against weathered docks, singing a lullaby of timelessness. If you come here, let yourself move slowly along the shores, where the scent of pine and fresh water mingles in the air. Wear sturdy shoes for wandering rocky paths that lead to quiet coves and secret viewpoints. Taste the fresh air, tinged with the faint salt of mineral springs. Respect the lake's stillness. It holds a sacred calm that invites reflection. Boats drift lazily, their wooden hulls tracing stories on the water's glassy face. In autumn, golden leaves drift down to rest on the surface, floating like memories carried gently on the wind. And as dusk falls, The lake becomes a pool of liquid twilight, holding the last light like a secret kept safe until morning. When you leave, carry the peace of Hallstatt Lake with you, a quiet song that lingers long after the journey ends. Hinterer Gosausee lies nestled beneath jagged peaks, a serene pool carved from ancient glaciers. Its waters shimmer with a clarity that seems almost unreal, reflecting the soaring Dachstein Mountains like a flawless mirror. The air here is crisp, tinged with the scent of pine and cool stone, a breath of wildness untouched by time. If you come here, prepare for quiet reflection rather than crowds. Walk the gentle trails that hug the lake's edge, each step a conversation with nature's calm. Wear sturdy shoes and layered clothing. Mountain weather can shift without warning. Listen for the soft rustle of leaves and distant bird calls, sound that weave a peaceful melody through the stillness. In winter, the lake freezes into a glassy expanse, inviting a silence both profound and tender. And as the sun sets behind the peaks, the water holds a fading light, a perfect stillness that lingers in the soul. Leaving Hinterer Gosausee, you carry a sense of quiet strength, a reminder of nature's gentle, enduring presence. Spiegelsee Lake, named for its perfect reflections, lies cradled in the embrace of rugged cliffs. Its glassy surface mirrors the sky, the mountains, and the dance of clouds, creating a world doubled and serene. The water is cool and clear, a quiet invitation to pause and breathe. If you come here, walk the soft paths circling the lake, letting each step slow your pace and sharpen your senses. Bring a light jacket. Even in summer, the mountain breeze carries a chill. Sit by the shore and watch as the light shifts. Sunrise paints the water in pale gold, while dusk drapes it in soft violet shadows. Respect the stillness. This is a place where silence speaks volumes, where the earth's calm pulse is almost tangible. And as you leave, carry the image of Spiegelsee in your mind, a perfect mirror of nature's quiet grace, a moment held forever in the heart. Dachstein Mountain rises like a cathedral of stone, its jagged peaks piercing the sky with a silent majesty. The wind here is a constant companion, whispering stories of ancient glaciers and timeless skies. Snow clings stubbornly to its crags, while alpine meadows bloom in fleeting bursts of color, each petal a fragile defiance against the mountain's stark grandeur. If you come here, prepare for an encounter with both power and peace. Dress in layers, for the weather can shift as swiftly as the clouds. Take the cable car for a breath-catching ascent, where each glance reveals new panoramas. Valleys draped in green, rivers winding like silver threads, and peaks that vanish into the endless blue. Walk the trails that snake around the summit, each step a meditation on the immensity surrounding you. Listen for the chime of alpine bells, the soft rustle of marmots darting among the rocks. Respect the fragile beauty of this high place. Stay on paths, tread lightly, and carry away only memories. And as the sun sets, the mountain glows in a fiery embrace, its silhouette etched sharply against the fading light. Leaving Dachstein, you carry with you a sense of awe, the silent strength of stone and sky, and a quiet reverence that lingers long after the climb ends. Tyrol unfolds like a living tapestry, a land where rugged peaks meet verdant valleys, and centuries of tradition whisper through alpine meadows. The air here carries the scent of pine and wildflowers, mingled with the faint aroma with smoke from distant chalets. Villages cling to hillsides like paintings, their timbered houses framed by snow-capped summits, each window glowing with the warm promise of hearth and home. If you come here, immerse yourself in the rhythms of mountain life. Wear sturdy boots and layered clothing. The weather can shift from sunlit warmth to brisk chill with quiet speed. Try the hearty local fare, nodal melting on your tongue, cheese aged by alpine air, and freshly baked breads that speak of generations past. Respect the customs, greet with a nod or quiet Grüß Gott, and move gently through festivals where music and dance keep old stories alive. Explore by foot or bicycle, letting the winding trails reveal hidden waterfalls, ancient churches, and quiet meadows where wild deer graze. In winter, the landscape transforms into a white dream, where silence deepens under blankets of snow, and the stars seem closer, brighter, and as you leave Tyrol, carry with you the mountain's steadfast heart, a place where time flows slowly, and the soul finds space to breathe, to remember what it means to be grounded in earth and sky. Pertisau Village rests gently on the shores of Lake Achen Sea, a quiet haven where water and mountain meet in perfect harmony. The gentle lapping of waves kisses pebbled beaches, while the scent of pine drifts on a cool breeze. Wooden boats bob softly in the harbor, their reflections shimmering like whispers on the lake's glass surface. If you come here, move slowly through streets lined with timber houses, each window framed by blooming flower boxes. Speak softly, for this is a place where the day unfolds with gentle ease. Wear comfortable shoes for wandering lakeside paths, and layers for changing mountain weather. Savor fresh trout caught from the lake, paired with rustic bread and mountain herbs. Engage warmly with locals. Their smiles are invitations into stories of the land and its rhythms. Explore the nearby forest on foot or by bike, where trails weave through sun-dappled clearings and ancient trees. In winter, snow cloaks the village in a serene hush, and the lake freezes into a crystal canvas. As evening falls, the village lights twinkle like stars caught below the mountains, and the calm water holds the sky's deepening colors. Leaving Pertisau, carry with you the village's quiet grace, a reminder that even in stillness, life pulses with gentle beauty. Schleggeispacher shimmers like a sapphire nestled in the heart of the Alps, its waters held steady by the embrace of towering peaks. The reservoir's surface is a perfect mirror, reflecting craggy cliffs, glaciers, and skies painted with shifting clouds. The air tastes of cold mountain streams, fresh and invigorating, carrying whispers of ancient glaciers that once carved this valley. If you come here, prepare to be embraced by wildness and stillness alike. Where layers, the high altitude brings brisk breezes and sudden weather changes. Follow trails that trace the shoreline, leading to lookout points where the panorama unfolds endlessly. Bring sturdy shoes for rocky paths, and a quiet heart to absorb the mountain's grandeur. Taste the crisp purity of the air and the silence that only the high Alps can hold. In winter, the reservoir freezes into a vast ice canvas, while in summer, alpine flowers bloom in vibrant bursts against a rugged backdrop. Respect the fragile ecosystem. Shred lightly, take only memories, and let the mountain stories settle deep within you. As you stand beside the shimmering water, feel the weight of time and nature intertwined, a reminder of the Earth's enduring power and delicate beauty. Leaving Schleggeispacher, carry the mountain's quiet strength in your breath, a steady pulse beneath the rush of days to come. Achen Lake stretches wide beneath the embrace of towering mountains. Its waters a deep, clear blue that holds a sky within its depths. The gentle ripple of waves lapping on pebbled shores sings a song of timeless calm, inviting you to slow, breathe, and be present. Mist often curls over the surface in the early morning, softening the outlines of distant hills and whispering secrets of the day to come. If you come here, wander along quiet trails that skirt the lake's edge, where wildflowers sway in the breeze, and the air carries the scent of pine and fresh water. Wear layers to meet the mountain breeze, and comfortable shoes for uneven paths. Taste the freshness of local trout, grilled simply and served with herbs picked from nearby meadows. Respect the lake's serenity. This is a place to listen more than to speak, to find stillness amidst nature's grandeur. Boats drift lazily across the water, their reflections casting soft ripples that dance in the afternoon light. In winter, the lake sometimes freezes into a shimmering sheet of ice, offering a quiet playground for those who seek its frozen magic. As the sun dips below the peaks, the lake holds a fading light, like a treasured memory, and you carry the gentle embrace of Achen Lake with you, a quiet heart beating steady beneath alpine skies. Plansee lies like a jewel nestled among forested hills, its waters shimmering with a quiet, ancient grace. The lake stretches long and narrow, reflecting the sky's endless blue and the dense greens of pine and fir that line its shores. The air is crisp and pure, tinged with the scent of moss and wild herbs that carpet the forest floor. If you come here, take time to wander the trails that weave through shaded groves and open meadows, where sunlight dances on the water's surface in fragmented patterns, where comfortable shoes and dress in layers, as the mountain breeze can carry sudden chills even in summer. Listen closely to the chorus of birds and the soft rustling of leaves, sounds that invite quiet contemplation. Taste the simple joys of the region, freshly caught fish, baked with herbs and wild garlic, and bread still warm from village ovens. Respect the stillness and solitude that Plansee offers, walking softly so that the forest's ancient whispers remain undisturbed. In autumn, the lake is framed by fiery hues, the trees' reflection painting the water with strokes of gold and crimson, and as evening falls, Plansee becomes a canvas of stars, its dark waters holding the sky's light in perfect stillness. Leaving Plansee, you carry with you a calm rooted in deep connection, a gentle reminder that some places hold the power to restore the soul. Güssing Castle rises proudly atop a solitary hill, its ancient stones whispering tales of centuries past. From this vantage point, the landscape unfolds in a patchwork of rolling fields, dense forests, and distant villages bathed in golden light. The castle's walls, weathered but steadfast, hold echoes of knights and rulers, their stories etched into every crevice and tower. If you come here, wander the cobbled paths that wind through the fortress, letting your fingers trace the rough stone and your eyes absorb the panoramic views. Wear comfortable shoes. The climb can be steep but rewarding. Pause in the quiet courtyards where sunlight filters through arches, and listen for the faint echoes of history in the still air. Respect the preservation efforts. This is a place where the past is alive, held tenderly for future generations. Explore the nearby village, where time seems to slow, and the warmth of local hospitality invites you to linger. Taste traditional dishes prepared with local ingredients, hearty stews and freshly baked breads that speak of home and hearth. As dusk falls, the castle takes on a golden glow, its silhouette stark against the deepening sky. Leaving Güssing Castle, you carry with you a sense of timelessness, a connection to the strength and stories that shape the land, and a quiet reverence for the passage of time. The Wachau Valley stretches like a golden ribbon along the Danube, where vineyards cascade down gentle slopes and apricot blossoms scent the air. Morning mists curl through the terraced hills, softening the outlines of ancient monasteries and medieval ruins perched like sentinels over the river. The sunlight here is warm and honeyed, painting the landscape in shades of amber and jade. If you come here, wander the winding paths that thread between vineyards heavy with grapes, their leaves rustling softly in the breeze. Wear comfortable shoes and a light jacket for cool mornings. Taste the crisp sweetness of Wachau's famed Grüner Veltliner wine, sipped slowly at a riverside tavern where time seems to pause. Respect the land and its caretakers, farmers who have tended these soils for generations, balancing tradition and nature with quiet devotion. Explore charming towns like Dürnstein, where pastel houses lean against cobblestone streets, and the echo of centuries-old stories lingers in the air. Listen for the church bells and the gentle splash of the Danube's current, sounds that weave the valley's timeless rhythm. In spring, the valley bursts into bloom, and in autumn, it is a tapestry of fiery hues and golden light. As the day closes, the Wachau holds a soft stillness, its hills and waters resting beneath a deepening sky. Leaving the valley, carry the warmth of its sunlit stones and the sweetness of its harvest, a place where earth and water meet in quiet celebration, and the soul finds a gentle home. The journey through Austria draws to a close, but the echoes of its mountains, lakes, and ancient stones linger gently in the heart. This land, woven from glaciers and rivers, forests and villages, speaks in a language both timeless and tender, a story told not just in sights, but in feelings. From the roaring waterfalls to the quiet abbeys, each place holds a piece of the soul's own wanderlust, inviting us to slow down, to see deeper, to listen more closely. Travel here is not just movement across space, but an unfolding of awareness, a dialogue between the traveler and the earth itself. And as you carry these stories with you, may the landscapes live on beneath your skin, in the quiet moments between breaths, and in the endless unfolding of your own journey. Austria is not merely a destination. It is a place of memory and becoming, where the wind remembers every step, and the light forever dances upon the mountains. Thank you for walking this path with me, for opening your heart to the quiet beauty of a land that invites us all to travel truthfully. Until the next journey, may your travels be gentle, your eyes wide, and your soul ever curious.